Today, because of the trade union in the banking industry, a lot of things have happened. Today, the job security has come. Earlier, there was no job security. Now, there is a job security. Earlier, there was no job permanency. Now, there is a job permanency. Earlier, the wages were just pathetic, pitiable. And today, we find that it is reasonable. I will not say it is adequate. I will not say it is satisfactory. But comparatively, it is definitely better wages compared to the past. Similarly, service conditions are very, very important, and a lot of pro-employee service conditions have been achieved in the last 75 years. Now, AIBA, we are celebrating the Platinum Jubilee year of the All India Bank Employees Association. Similarly, working hours. Now, for the past 1 week, we are finding that government after government, state government, they are now talking of 12-hour working hours. And that's why working hours are also equally very, very important in banks. When we talk of salary, we must rate that to the working hours. It is one of the lowest in the world. And even in India, when everybody is working 8 to 10 hours, we are working for 6.5 hours. So that's a very important thing that we have to keep in mind. Similarly, after retirement, as long as I work, I get remunerated, then matter is over. But it is not so. In banks, we have also evolved post-retirement security for the bank employees. Then dignity of job is so important that it's a very important achievement of the trade union in the banks. And more than that, I would rate the trade union rights of the bank employees. It's very, very important. That's a basic thing. The trade union rights have been achieved. And earlier, there was no bilateralism. It was purely tripartite, and we had to go before the courts and the tribunals and the awards. That was about 20 years. Then we realized, and then we came to the part of bilateralism. That means directly we talk to the banks, and in such a complicated banking scenario, where there are private banks and public sector bank, big banks, small banks, we are scattered in a lot of locations, but still from 1966 for almost 53 years now, this is 54th year that we are maintaining the bilateral relationship. So this is one thing that we have seen. But alongside, the bank employees have also seen the challenge of the banking industry. Earlier, the entire banking industry was in the private sector, and now we are finding that we have moved over to the nationalized sector. There also bank employees played a very important role, because right from the inception of the All India Bank Employees Association, it was our understanding of the founders of the All India Bank Employees Association, their vision that bank employees have to be guided by a two-pillar policy of the All India Bank Employees Association. One, of course, essentially, very importantly, that employees, bank employees, their betterment, their better living condition, their improvement, their service conditions, their more wages, etc. That is only one part. But at the same time, the founding fathers of the AIBA also believed and they felt that the organization of the bank employees, the union of the bank employees also should have another very important role to play. We must go back to 1946 when AIBA was born. Independence was not yet there. It was still a British India. And that was a cry that we want independent. Gandhiji was fighting, people were fighting, workers were fighting, unions were demanding. Then we came to 1947. That was totally after 200 years of British exploitation. They simply looted our country, and then India became so poor. India was the top of the world's economy once upon a time, but all these invasions and exploitations made our country poor, and we are so backward. So our AIBA leaders, founders, they also believed that one side you fight for the betterment